when I arrived in Vancouver, it was August 1st. It was a beautiful, beautiful summer day. Blue skies, beautiful summer. You see the beach, you see the mountains. And again, every 2 weeks I would cry. My husband said, I cannot believe it's our dream to come to Vancouver. Look at the city. It's amazing. Why are you crying?
Why?
I'm
I'm such a
crying
crying
because I
baby.
miss my home. I'm crying because I miss my friends. I have to start from scratch again, knowing no one. And remember, Calgary had a beautiful Brazilian community, events, parties, concerts. I felt like a little piece of Brazil in Calgary, right? And I gave up all of that. And you have to remember that when I left Brazil, I was only 24. So I began my adult life in Canada. But when I moved to Vancouver, I left behind seven of probably the most important years of my life. I got married. I got my first dog. I had my baby. I bought a house. I had a beautiful group of friends. And I decided to let go. And it was my decision. It was his decision. Nobody forced us. So when I arrived here, I was like, I want to come back. I want to go back. I told him, I want to go back to Calgary. And he said, we sold our house. We're done. We are here now. And I would cry all the time, only for 2 months. And then fell in love with Vancouver.
What made you fall in love with Vancouver?
Because it's hard not to, right? It's a beautiful city. You know, it has the mountains and the beach. I found a job right away. I started working in a daycare center that belonged to my homestay mother when I did my English exchange classes back in 2001. So I lived in her house in 2001 when I came to study English. And when I came to Vancouver, I validated my educator license and I started working for her. So I had my job. My little girl was 2 years old and it was summer. It was beautiful, right? But it took quite a few years to feel like home again. It was not, I was happy and excited, but it was not easy. It was not easy.
Friendships.
So that took a while, okay? Because differently than Calgary, the Brazilian community didn't have a more official community, right? There were few groups here and there that at the time I found on Facebook, because Facebook was a thing already. But I would try to be included in that group in their picnics and events, and they wouldn't let me. I felt so left behind, right? I felt so lonely because I was like, I have a baby, they have a baby. Why can't I go to the picnic? So it took me maybe 2 years to make my first friend. And of course, I knew my husband's friends in Vancouver. He had friends in Vancouver for a long time. I was friends with my coworkers again, so similar to what happened in Calgary. But, you know, when the immigrant moves to another country, you kind of look for that little piece of home. Right?
Other immigrants.
So you like to have that connection with other Brazilian people who speak Portuguese, people who like the same things that you did back home. And that took a long time because it was not a welcoming community, very different than Calgary.